Michael Bay has been directing now for nearly 20 years and has become one of the most financially best directors, making money on all of his films. The films that I'll be talking about with you today are Pain and Gain, Armageddon, Pearl Harbor and the Transformers series. Michael Bay has been directing since 1995 with his first feature-length film Bad Boys, and since then has excelled. Michael Bay is known for making huge budget films with a huge gross. For example, in 1998, when he released Armageddon, it was budgeted to 140 million and has come out with over $500,000 worldwide. And with his most recent Transformers film, Age of Extinction, it was budgeted to $210 million and made over $1 billion. Wow. And with Bay's success, he has created his own production company called Platinum Dunes, who have created quite a lot of horror films or remakes of horror films. For example, he's created a Texas Chainsaw Massacre film, producers of the Purge series and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and of course the films that Bay's directed himself. Michael Bay has sometimes been very ambitious with his films, so much so that his ambitions have made him become more hated as a director, as his themes are so overused and recognisable to that parodies are made on YouTube, for example, when we talk about slow motion or explosions or certain shots that he might use more than once.
And that is our courage.
The United States government just asked us to save the world. Anybody want to say no?
If you're willing to do the work, you can have anything.
Michael Bay is a very patriotic person, so his films come across as very patriotic, showing the US Army base to be faultless and they're perfect and that everyone's brave in the army, or how there's American flags around every corner apparently in America. Something myself has noticed in Michael Bay's films is how they will include a speech from either the president or someone as powerful as the president. Like in Transformers, where the Secretary of Defense has a speech and he's the main character, or there's even a little cameo from, it's meant to be George Bush himself. Or in Armageddon there's a speech, and Pearl Harbor, Roosevelt has a speech.
Men are still trapped alive inside the Arizona.
We can hear tapping from inside the hull. We're doing everything we can to get to them, but they're 40 feet below water.
We've been trained to think that we're invincible. And now our proudest ships has been destroyed by an enemy we considered inferior. We're on the ropes, gentlemen. That's exactly why we have to strike back now.
We're preparing an attack against the Marshall and Gilbert Islands, sir, to keep
I'm talking about hitting the heart of Japan, the way they have hit us.
In 2016, Michael Bay released a new showreel of his, where it includes his most common features he'll include, which is great because we can talk about it really, and I can take clips from it. So I can show you from certain films on each side of me where there's a clip which can either have been reused or a shot that he's used more than once, or how there's explosions every half an hour or more in films. Like how, for example, I can get right now here there's a picture of there's a clip of slow motion, and here there's another clip of slow motion from two different films he's directed. Or now there's going to be an explosion from a film and another explosion from a film, and then I could just keep on going.
The human thirst thirst for excellence and knowledge. Every step up the ladder of science, every adventurous reach into space, there is one thing that elevated our species above its origins, and that is our courage.
The United States government just asked us to save the world. Anybody want to say no?
If you're willing to do the work, you can have anything.
There you go, yeah!
You sure you're ready for this?
I'll do my best.
Your best. Losers always whine about their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
Carla was the prom queen.
Really?
Yeah.
Make no mistake about it, gentlemen. We are now in harm's way. Can you live with that?
December 7th, 1941. A date which will live in infamy.
We ride together, we die together. Bad boys for life.
We all gotta die, right? I'm the guy who gets to do it saving the world.
Shit just got real.
You walk into the wrong goddamn room! That is my father up there! Octopus! From now on, that's how you shoot!
I'm really glad I got in that car with you.
I watched a lot of movies, Paul. I know what I'm doing.
You gotta have faith, Prime. And we can be.
I don't see the reason why Michael Bay is as hated as he is, because he's doing something that I would love to do myself, where you get to make these massive budget movies which you may have dreamed of making when you're a kid, of like Transformers, which I'm sure he must have been a Transformers fan, seeing how many he's made. But he gets faulted for making them as good as he could remember, but maybe they're just not as good as other people could remember. But he's able to make money, and a lot of it from the things he loves, so you can't really fault him as much as people do, I think. But overall, I think Michael Bay, Michael Bay's a very controversial director, where he's obviously not the best of the best, but he's obviously up there because he's faultless. He's technically faultless, which I myself would love to be when in my future. So I think he's a good director, but I can obviously understand why people don't like him.